Welcome to Indigos Gaming. Today's guide is for the achievement Grounded and Scared on the mission In Utter Darkness in the Wings of Liberty campaign. First, I will do a walkthrough on Normal to show the basic strategy. After that, I will do a walkthrough on Brutal. Welcome to the normal walkthrough for the achievement Grounded and Scared. This mission is a holdout mission as protoss this time, where you have to defend against incoming Zerg attack waves.
They must not make the mistakes we did.
The basic strategy that I have to recommend for this is going to mainly revolve around getting Dark Templar to start. The achievement's requirements are to do the whole mission without any Stargate production.
I have rallied the last of our great fleet. Your timing is impeccable, Admiral. When the enemy takes to the air, we will need your support.
I start off the mission making probes, and I have a probe start a dark shrine and extra gateways right away. I need to be able to make Dark Templar because I plan to make a wall of Dark Templar at the 3 bridge entrances to the base. That won't work forever because eventually the Zerg send detectors, but it will buy enough time to get a sizable ground army built. In the meantime, I'm going to use the starting ground forces, and very helpful to have, storms. Zerg are starting to send their attack waves. Dark Shrine finished, so I'm going to start making DTs. And the key to building the wall with them, I will show here, to move each one to a spot and then place it on hold position. Keep my observers safe so I can see when the Zerg are coming. Get more DTs. Get the DT wall here. I'm going to go ahead and get a Robo Bay so I can make Colossus. Keep upgrades going. Should only need 1 or 2 to finish this one. There we go. That wall is finished. And now you see the power of the wall here. The Zerg cannot get past without detectors or air units, but I have enough Phoenixes that those are not a concern. So now I'm going to start building the next wall. All of my gases are saturated, so I'm just going to have to wait to get enough money to keep making DTs. Immortals have been producing. If you get into a pinch in a fight, you can have your phoenixes lift off enemy units, including the hybrid here. Very helpful, since when they're lifted off, they cannot attack. Need one more DT for this side. Alright, that wall should be good. Just in time, too. Buta's testing the cannons. For this final wall, you can add Zeratul into the mix, since he is technically a Dark Templar. Now, since I'm heavily constrained on Vespene gas, making the Dark Templar, I have an incredible abundance of minerals that I can dump into cannons at the entrances as well. Get DTs set up here. Should not need too many more. Hopefully just one more here. Alright, that should be good. So now that all three entrances have their DTs, I can focus on building the rest of the army and dumping minerals into cannons. For the rest of the army, I plan to make a mixture of heavy AoE units such as colossi, archons, storms, more Templar for storms, always a good choice. So I'm going to go ahead and get Templar archives going. Start a colossus. I'm keeping the air units that I get for free from the portal on a separate hotkey so that they can hunt down groups of units such as mutas or broodlords. Lift off the hybrid to get rid of their threat. Make sure to get your upgrades. The mission objectives for this, as earlier I said, the achievement is to complete the mission without any Stargate production. To complete the mission, you have to kill 1,500 Zerg forces, and then defend until the last protoss falls. In other words, kill 1,500 enemies and then lose your entire force. Get more Templar for storms. Definitely starved for gas on this mission. Most ground units will absolutely get slaughtered at those Dark Templar walls. You have to keep an eye on those entryways though, because if the Zerg happen to send a detector, an overseer, with their forces, you will need to respond with your air units to clear that detector, or else your DTs will die. Where did my cannon probe go? I have an abundance of minerals, so I'm just going to throw it into cannons. Adding on archons to the mix.
Your feet carries the seeds of your destruction.
Apparently he doesn't need vision to build Nidus worms. Amon, overpowered. Ooh.
This is the hour of truth. Noble Templar. Let the enemy know the wrath of Aya's champions.
Executor Celestis, unleash the full power of your forces. There may be no tomorrow.
Intaro Tastar. Zeratul.
So, I have this massive force built, cannons and DTs at all the entrances. Where do I go from here? Well, I'm waiting for the Zerg to send their attack waves, but if I start to get overrun, what the plan I recommend is you take all of your Dark Templar away from the walls, you bring everything up to the high ground. At that point, I would turn my Dark Templar into archons, because presumably they're sending enough detectors that I'm losing them. And at that point they would be more beneficial to have as archons. If the walls start to break, that's the plan. Until that point, you're really just policing these entrances, killing detectors if you see them, and letting the Dark Templar take care of the rest. Build cannons on the high ground in case you end up having to retreat.
We shall stand against the darkness.
I see a group of brood lords coming with this next wave, so I'm going to get my air units in place. The Broodlords are a big threat because they can outrange the cannons, so they can start destroying the cannons before the Dark Templar would be able to do anything. And I don't really want to lose these outer perimeter defenses if I don't have to. Throughout the mission you get Stargate units for free out of the big portal, so I'm not actually making any Stargate units. I'm surprised at the amount that you get for free. It really feels like a good amount, considering you're just policing the entrances. More archons. Archons are great units against Zerg. More Nidus worms? No. Just a stream of Zerglings. Zerglings versus Dark Templar. Not a concern at all. Mutalisks, though. Have my air units respond to those Mutalisk attacks. And nothing else is really concerning here. The Zerg are sending their units, but I don't see any detectors, so I'm not concerned. I'll replace some of the cannons that I lost on these edges. Oh, they do have an overseer here. I'm going to have my units snipe it. Got rid of it before I lost any Dark Templar. Which means that wall is still holding. That's good. But now I need to be more careful watching because they're sending detectors. The rest of my forces are on standby here in case any of the walls break. You get him, Void Ray. Show off that orange laser beam. Got 3-3 for all of my ground units. You can start your shield upgrades. You can go ahead and get air upgrades too, because of the amount of free air units you are given. All my observers are still alive too. Mission's feeling pretty safe right now. Major abundance of minerals, so feel free to make as many cannons as you want. More Nidus worms spawning. Since I already built so many cannons on the high ground, it's not a concern. There is a bonus objective for the mission to defend this protoss archive in the center of the low ground area. So long as you keep the Zerg from destroying that building, it will eventually go underground, at which point it is safe. No detectors here, but they do have brood lords. So I'm going to send my air units to take care of them. We do have an overseer here, though. I lost those DTs, sadly. So I'm going to position my ground army on this side to defend against that. See if I can't replace the Dark Templar, since there's a bit of a lull in the aggression here. Can definitely afford more gateways at this point. Although being so close to maximum supply, having extra gateways doesn't really mean much. Send my air units to deal with those. Maximum supply. There's a gap in the wall, but I have max supply. I'll just position my units here, I suppose. Still no detectors, I see.
My brethren, hear me, but there is little time left. All that remains of our race, our civilization, those that stand beside you now. Trust. Strike as one will. Let our last stand burn a memory so bright, we will be remembered forever. Entaro Tassadar!
Now, I'm very close to that 1500 marker, and I just need to get a few more kills without hopefully losing everything here. There's 1500 for the mission. From here, the only other objective for the mission is to defend until the last protoss falls. In other words, lose your entire army and base. There are other achievements for the mission, however, to kill additional enemy units past this point. You are more than welcome to try to get those at this point in time, but I have already killed enough enemy forces that I should have the achievement. You saw I pulled all of my Dark Templar away from the walls. They're sending detection with every wave now, and I already got enough kills for the mission, so I'm just going to bring everybody home, turn them into archons. And at this point, I'm going to see how long this ground force can last against the waves of Zerg. I will speed up the footage up to the end of the mission, just so that we can see, for one, how many kills I can get, and at the end, did I get the achievement. Now that I got the last achievement for the mission, I'm taking my hands off the keyboard, letting them destroy the rest of my forces, so that we can see if I got the achievement in question, grounded and scared.
I return.
Farewell, brave protoss. 45 minutes on the game timer. Now this scene right here, this looks like my latter games. Zerg so overpowered. And that should be everything. Oh, hybrid gotta do their thing.
As I was your beginning, so shall I be.
Alpha and Omega. That's a quote.
Your light is expended. It is finished.
Creepy. Now where's my achievement? Hey, got it. Grounded and scared. Completed on normal difficulty. Definitely felt pretty easy up to what was actually required. Obviously I took it past the point that I needed to see if I could get those extra achievements here for killing up to 750 additional Zerg units. Overall, not too bad though. Make the Dark Templar at the start and put them on hold position in a wall on those bridge entrances. It might take you a couple tries to actually get them in the hold position spot. Luckily you have time before they start sending detectors though. Just be patient and take it slow. And now to go to the brutal walkthrough. Welcome to the brutal walkthrough for the achievement Grounded and Scared. Starting the mission, making probes. I'm going to make a dark shrine right away. Get a few extra gates. Don't move my camera.
Guard us while we preserve our knowledge for those that may fall. They must not make the mistakes we did.
The achievement's requirements are to complete the entire mission without building any Stargate units.
Your timing is impeccable, Admiral Maroon. When the enemy takes to the air, we will need your support.
You see that Stargate? Don't use it. And some of you may be like, but Indigos, Sky Toss, how else do I play? Trust me, you can do other things. The Dark Shrine is the key.
The last of the protoss will fulfill their function. Dead.
I'm going to use the Dark Shrine to get up a group of Dark Templar and make a wall at these bridges. This will make it so that ground units cannot get past without having detection. Oh my gosh, Storm's a good unit. So I'm adding on Dark Templar here. I'm moving them in position and then pressing hold position.
What would you ask? Fear is an illusion. I bask in it.
So I got this southern entrance all taken care of. Dark Templar are sitting there and they're on hold position. So I'm going to start making the next wall.
My charge, complacent. Fear is an illusion. From the shadows I come. The darkness rises.
Just line them up. Hold position. You have to do it one at a time. If you send multiples at the same time, they'll kind of move each other out of where they should be. And see, here's the power. The ground units cannot get past the Dark Templar without some sort of detector. You will have to deal with the air units, however. But luckily, you may not be able to build units from a Stargate, but you can still build protoss units. And protoss units are very strong. Make archons, make colossus, immortals, all excellent choices. Wings of Liberty immortals are crazy strong. For the last wall, you're free to add Zeratul into the mix, since he is technically a Dark Templar.
Behold, my greatest creation. Your base is under attack. From the shadows I come.
Use your phoenixes to lift off key targets to prevent them from attacking. Running out of gas, but the wall is almost finished.
A large amount of Zerg activity in their high clusters. Prepare for an assault. From the shadows I come.
That looks like it's good, actually. Barely. So now that those walls are in place, the biggest thing I need to worry about is if they have detection. So I'm going to keep an eye on these lanes to see if they have any overseers that they're moving through. Other than that, I am free to build whatever kind of composition I feel like outside of Stargate units. I highly recommend things like Colossus and Archons because of the amount of AoE damage you will need throughout the entire mission. That said, those are also very gas-heavy units. So, what to do with your excess minerals, you ask? Well, cannons are going to be your friend. Need to get Templar archives going. Keep up with your upgrades for those ground units. Greatly help out. Not quite enough gas. Brood lords attacking the perimeter. Send my phoenixes out that I got for free from the portal. You can use all of the Stargate units that they give you for free. You just can't make anything.
Disengage presently. Concentrate all batteries on the house.
Well met, great Mohandar. For ire.
So I got void rays added into my air units now. Just adding on cannons at the entrances now. Did my Templar archives finish? Yes, it did. So now I can make High Templar. I'm going to add on the first few to my Storms group, however, because Storms are very cost efficient and they will help me get a nice early advantage here. From here on out, you're keeping an eye on the lanes for whenever they start to send detection. I want to say it's around the 17 to 18 minute mark. They start sending detection. No, not my Templar. Where'd my probe go? There's my probe. The cannons will help to buy time and gives you something to spend your minerals on, since you will definitely be running high on minerals with this strategy. There's a gap in that wall somewhere. They have an overseer. That explains it. I need to fill the gap in the wall. Luckily the hybrid are too large to actually fit through there. Get a Robo Bay next, so that I can spend money on Colossus. Really need to get upgrades too, though. Just starved for Vespene, really. That's the limiting factor here. So I talked about the achievement requirements being to complete the mission, but I did not actually talk about the mission requirements. The mission requirements on Brutal are to kill 2,500 enemy forces, and then defend until the last protoss falls.
You require more Vespene gas.
Constant in need of Vespene gas.
Every hand is destruction.
Whoa. Whoa, Nidus worm.
This is the hour of truth, noble Templar. Let the enemy know the wrath of Aya's champions.
Executor Celendis, unleash the full power of your forces. There may be no tomorrow.
Intaro Testar, Zeratul.
Add in carriers to my air unit army here.
Satisfactory.
And this air unit army is very important for hunting down the detectors that I see as they come down the lanes, so that hopefully the Dark Templar last as long as they can, buying you time to build up your army. You will eventually have to fall back to the high ground, but the goal is to just buy as much time as you can. They do have a detector with this group. See if I can snipe it down. Lost one DT there. Let's replace that part of the wall. Looks like everything's doing okay. I got additional colossus. You know, Archon, you don't have to go fight them.
Upgrade, you require more Vespine gas.
Make another round of cannons. I'm gonna get +3 armor next.
You require more Vespine gas. Your base is under attack. Your warriors have
You do have detector there. I did not catch that very quickly though. I'm gonna need to bring the ground army to help out here. No. Thought I saw a hybrid under there. The Dark Templar losing at that bottom wall. I lost a lot of Dark Templar in there. I do not believe I have enough Vespine to replace them. I'm going to keep the ground army positioned here to help out with both of those entrances. Replace what cannons I can.
As I was your beginning, so shall I be.
Don't shoot your own cannon. Oh yeah, that's great. Can you guys just send Zerglings for the rest of the mission? That would be awesome. Get some additional Colossus going here. I see the Mutalisks approaching. One Dark Templar down there. I don't think one Dark Templar is going to make enough of a difference to warrant him being there.
We embrace the glory of battle.
Base is under attack. Base is under attack. Base is under attack. Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Using my air army to hunt down theirs. Keep the skies free of broodlords and mutalisks where I can. Lost some more DTs in there.
Base is under attack.
I will erase the demons of the past.
We shall stand against
Turn these remaining Dark Templar into archons, since they're running enough detection that it's just more worthwhile to have them as archons at this point. I'm going to keep making cannons on the high ground here.
You have not enough minerals.
Start grouping up all of my forces.
You have no place to hide and nowhere to run.
More Nidus worms coming up. Have your cannons focus fire those Nidus worms. The creep messing with where to build.
You have not enough mineral. Consolidate. I'm here in the shadows.
Just really starved for money right now.
Our pylon is under attack. Warriors have engaged the enemy. Base is under attack.
Uh-oh.
We embrace the glory.
Our pylon is under attack. Base is under attack.
Have Urun take out those brood lords.
Glory.
Lost my builder probe here.
I will erase the demon.
You have not enough consolidate above. I'm here in the shadows. Our pylon is under attack.
I'm going to leave that low ground unattended now and just focus on defending the high ground.
Our pylon is under attack.
My allegiance.
Commanding the shield of iron. Our matrix fields are within range. Engaging mass recall.
Group everybody up so that they get the benefits of the mothership's cloak.
All that remains of our race, our civilization, are those that stand beside you now. Trust. Strike as one will. Let our last stand burn a memory so bright, we will be remembered forever. Entaro Tassadar!
Now I'm just focused on holding on. I've almost got it. Use the vortex to delay the fight. There it is. Whew. So, now that I achieved the objective of killing 2,500 enemy forces, the only thing left to do is defend until the last protoss falls.
How could we have known?
So you guys can check out my sick micro here. Protoss.
There's just too many of them. I return to serve.
Base is under attack. If only we had acted sooner.
Now this is starting to look like my ladder games.
Our thoughts are one!
Our duty is unending.
Base is under attack.
Come on, Zerg.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Base is under attack.
Eventually you will be overrun. There are other achievements in the mission, in case you have not done them, to kill additional units past the requirement. I want to say the thresholds are 250 and 750 additional units, but I highly recommend doing that on normal difficulty, as the achievements require, simply because brutal requires you to kill so many more units. There's just little room for error. Forces are dwindling now. You don't actually get the achievement until the mission is over.
Harvingers will usher in a new age.
I have an observer here. Oh. Observer, the real hero. How kind of you to observe these final moments.
I return.
Kerrigan. How could we have known?
And with every Protoss unit gone, the mission is complete. Oh, the hybrid have to do their thing.
As I was your beginning, so shall I be.
What a quote.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Alright, Amon. Where's my achievement? Hey, there it is. Grounded and Scared completed on normal and brutal difficulties. Definitely a bit more stressful on brutal, just simply with the amount of units that you have to deal with. The units do come a lot quicker and in greater numbers, but you have to kill more of them. Since you're limited to the ground-only army, I recommend you make the walls of Dark Templar early on, so that way it buys you time to build up forces, focus on units that deal AoE damage like colossi and archons. Add in some immortals because of how strong and tanky they are. Overall, not too bad though. I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for watching.